Well, today's Friday, got loaded, but I'm not yet leaving because it's a short trip. Let me show you what I got. Let me make sure I got my keys, I got my wallet, I got my cell phone. So it's a light piece, actually 2 pieces. Strike that, 3. And this just shows you that nothing is impossible with a drop side trailer. And looking at these ugly outriggers, this reminds me of what some viewers were saying. And you see the D-rings, and that's the last scratch that was done by this Hino truck. And I ran out of the black paint. So tomorrow I'm going to go get some black paint and do some homekeeping here. Just paint outriggers and the D-rings. So yeah, so we put the, see, we use this, my big blocks, and I only have 6 of them. And so first we put the short ones in there, and then when the guy already disconnected the chains from the crane, I said, oh, sorry, my bad, let's put the bigger ones in here. And this is very light stuff. This is just well, they use it for, it's like a conveyor line, you know. Inside there's a conveyor line with hooks. You know how they have parts that go around inside, and they sprinkle some I see over there, and they sprinkle some acid or something on it, like these hooks. They hang in there, and this stuff just goes around inside. And at first the broker said, you gotta top all this. And I said, well, it's not exactly, you know, a brand new thing. And I talked to the guy, you know, they were doing this work, and basically they fixed these old things and they sold them to the place where I'm going. And the guy the owner says, well, there's nothing here that's afraid of moisture, and this thing works in water anyway. So the only thing is that control panel in the back, and there's some switches in here. And I talked to the logistics guy who hired us, and I said, could you please talk to the ship over here, to the owner, who's like an engineer, you know? And they agreed, yeah, there's nothing here that's needs actually to be tarped. So my job was made easier a little bit, but it was tricky to, you know, work with these straps because this thing is so tall and shaky. Because you see how it's not exactly a solid structure, because that's where the conveyor goes in and then out, you know. So you cannot do it, you cannot tighten the chains too much, you know, and straps. So I climbed up using the ladder there, and we load them like this. Yeah, I'll have to double check. And this is a short trip. Just goes 550 kilometers into Pennsylvania, basically towards Harrisburg. Hold on, I just remembered that the logistics guy wanted me to take some pictures. We'll continue in a second. Okay, pictures done. Time for some Indian food. And speaking about Indian food, while I was, you know, backing in there, and it's very narrow. It's like kind of like an almost residential area. You know, those places where manufacturing moved in a long time ago, and then they started doing residential. And so it's very tight, and it's a 2-lane road, very busy, and the guys already know at the shipper they have signs, stop, slow, you know, like construction guys. So one guy goes to the left, one guy goes to the right, so they have to stop the traffic on the road. And as soon as I did that, and this was like 1 p.m., as soon as I did that, there's like a jam, I don't know, half a mile long, you know, on each side. But I backed in there, I had to go on the grass on the opposite side because it's so tight, you know, backed into the gate because I had to back inside the building. That's where they have the crane. They loaded these with a ceiling crane. And as I'm there, like finishing all this stuff, and the owner comes over to me and he says, there's a guy outside with a flatbed truck and he seems to have a problem backing in here. He says he's been moving his truck back and forth like 10-15 times and he cannot do it, so can you help him? And he says, I think he's Indian. I said, well, that's nothing is wrong with being Indian, except he might be a new driver, like, because so many of them, right? And I go outside, and the guy has a Volvo, like a white Volvo with a probably 48 flatbed trailer. Actually, it was pretty long. I think it was a 53. But the thing about Saskatchewan, and he has Saskatchewan license plates, Western Canada. The thing about Saskatchewan and Alberta and British Columbia is that they don't recognize 10-1 spread on trailers. Basically, they will give you only credit for one axle. It's like you have only one axle on the trailer, so you lose 20,000 pounds. And so all guys over there, they have a short spread. Maximum is 6 feet, 72 inches between. So if it's a tandem, they get trailers either with a slider that you can slide to 10-1 once you're on the US side, but as soon as you across the border, you have to have it at 72 inches, and that's why most of the guys have triaxle trailers, because with triaxle you're legal everywhere, you know, and in Canada we are allowed more weight anyway. But this guy, just the luck would have it, he has one of these short spreads, and his axles were in the very back, like 41 inch, right, 41 feet from the kingpin. A trailer like that, I thought mine was bad, you know. So that trailer is very hard to maneuver because it starts going, like, as soon as you turn the wheel, it starts going in the wrong direction, you know? So anyway, so this Indian guy, I come out, the Indian guy says, maybe you can drive? I said, maybe you should try, and if it doesn't work, then I said, let me show you. So I took him by the hand, I showed him how I did it, where I went. I said, you have to go on the grass here, you know, cross the road, go on the grass, and then back in there, and just, you have to do a couple of movements here, forward and back. Maybe you should try. Okay. So that was an interesting experience. Unfortunately, again, I didn't think about getting a camera because this guy wouldn't object. I should have put a camera in my head, you know. But I climb in, and I was thinking, what kind of a transmission he has? That was my first question to myself, you know. Because, okay, I know 13, I know 18, but all trucks are different. I go inside, his Volvo has an auto transmission. So he gave me a quick lesson, okay, reverse, neutral, and then he says, you can see on the screen. Yeah, and it's actually so easy, you know, like, I started driving, you know, and you don't have to think about shifting. Like, I was driving near the fence, and then the guys blocked the road going, and you just push gas. I like, what the heck? The guy has 2 pedals, throttle and brake. I mean, Jesus, it's been a while, you know. A long time ago, I drove. Oh yeah, when I was starting with the Challenger Motor Freight, they gave me a Freightliner. This was winter of 2008. They gave me a Freightliner with a worthless Mercedes engine, no power whatsoever, and that one had an automatic transmission, and it was so bad. If you loaded like even 40,000 pounds, this was a dry van, and I put it in reverse, and if there's like a slight hill, the truck is not moving, you know. Like, I'm in a reverse, my foot is in the floor, the truck is stationary, you know. But now he was empty, and so I don't know how good or bad his transmission is, but I really liked it. It's so easy, you know, like a car.
all I had to do was just push the brake, move to drive, move to reverse, and I did a couple of times. I had to do a couple of movements to line up the trailer with the building. And the guy is looking at me. He was sitting in the passenger side. This nice Indian guy, speaks English. Everything is cool, but he says, "Oh, I wouldn't be able to do it." And then after I said, just give him a tip. I said, that's what my instructor told me when I was starting with Challenger. He said, when you come to a truck stop, never drive in. Don't be lazy. Like, let's say if you're stopping, and that's what I told this guy, and this tip will be good for, oh, it's getting hot. This tip will be good for all new drivers. Like when you're stopping, for a break, for coffee, never seek an easy spot where you can just drive in. Just try to back, like especially if the truck stop is not busy and it's daylight, nobody's harassing you. Just basically do it for training, do it for exercise. And this guy, the Indian guy, just as I thought, he said, "Oh, I'm always driving in." He said, "When I'm stopping, I drive in." I said, "Well, that's why you don't know how to back, But the guy got somehow here from Saskatchewan, which is 2,500 miles away. But of course he was driving straight. So I had to help the guy out. Oh, and at first I was joking. He says, "Can you help me? Can you back?" I said, 20 rupees. And everybody started laughing, and the guy says, "I'm from Pakistan." So, oh geez. Then I said, I don't know, 20 rubles, $20. But of course I didn't take any money. But actually it was a very, curious experience driving that Volvo with the automatic transmission. But actually the Kenworth that I spec'd, right, that I want to get, we spec'd 18-speed Eaton auto, and now I can see how that would be great, to have in a heavy haul truck where you don't have to worry about shifting. All you think is about, safety and look for objects. It's so much safer, like automatic transmissions, because it takes your mind away from all these stupid calculations, which gear you have to go in. So anyway, today's Friday, and I just got this load at around 12 o'clock. They told me that the guy called in asking for a lowboy truck. I had no idea yesterday that I would be working today, and the load pays pretty good. That's what I'm doing it. Just like one guy was saying, he says, if it's on my trailer, you see it on my trailer, that means it pays good. So we don't do cheap loads, and it's a bit scary. All these frames, they're not strong, so I'll be careful. I'm not gonna drive fast and just stop often and double check all my straps and chains. Western Star guy is back in. That's my neighbor. He is a reefer, and that's a black Western Star with red fuel tanks. Now, one thing I don't like that sleeper that's so caved out, but he has a classic 4900. So anyway, yeah, because it's only 6 hours away, and they want me to be there Monday, so no reason to rush. So I sent all the paperwork to my dispatch. They sent me I need the ACI manifest, and I said I'll cross Sunday, just leave home Sunday morning, 6 hours, find a truck stop somewhere there in the Harrisburg area, and deliver Monday morning. And then they said they might have a load for me from a port in the States, so that would be good. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Have a good weekend, boys and girls. Uncle Sergei is planning some Jesus, just when I see that, what is it? Oh, it's right above. It's probably the camera doesn't want to focus, but there's an eagle. I'm always on the hunt for an eagle, because now I have that telly Why I cannot see this on my phone? It really doesn't want to focus. But anyway, I see it with my eyes, but I cannot see it on the phone. Huh. Anyway, there's an eagle there, but it's impossible to catch these guys, I mean, with the camera, because they're always moving and they're so cautious, right? But anyway, the plan for the weekend is we have here what's called, I already explored all the 3 conservation areas, and right north of me is what they call a butterfly conservatory, and it's like a park inside, like an inside park with tropical vegetation, and basically it's butterflies of all, you know, types and kinds and color. But I'm not too interested in butterflies, because I have this huge lens, right, like 200 to 500 millimeter Nikkor, and the nearest it can shoot is 7 feet, 2.3 meters. So I cannot shoot butterflies. But I was on their website, and I also found that they have birds. They have tropical birds, and there's pictures there. Very cute birds. You know, I wouldn't be able to find them over here in Ontario, Canada, because they keep the temperature over there like anywhere between 24 C and 28 C. It's pretty much like 75, 80 F. Very warm all year round, you know. And they allow to take pictures, and there's no restrictions on the use of the photographs, but it's you have to pay. I think it's like $13 Canadian, 10 bucks US. And they open I think 6 days a week. So I wanted to go today. Actually, I was sitting and looking at their website, and just then my dispatch sent me this: hey, I have a guy that needs a lowboy to go to Pennsylvania. I said, well, how much it pays? All this? Okay, I can do it. But they open tomorrow, so that's the plan, is to go tomorrow to this conservatory of butterflies and try to find some cute birds, and put pictures on my second Instagram and on my second SERGEI DRATCHEV photo YouTube. I already have 40 subscribers over there, yeah, and put them on my gallery. Anyway, time to go grab some food. And we have another guy in here, and these are I don't know what these guys are hauling with these 40 axles on the trailer, but it's very heavy, very heavy. All right, Captain SERGEI out. Enjoy your weekend.